Hello everybody, my name is Kind Cruelty and welcome to another Stella Sora video. In this video, we will be going over our newest recruit, which is the Nazuka. She is a Ventus versatile, meaning she can work as both a main damage dealer and a support. But for this video, I will be showcasing her or using her mostly as a support. So these are basically my first impressions. And my first impressions of her is that she is actually a bit too strong. She's way too strong. Or maybe it's just the Nanoha who's a bit too weak. But hey, that's something else. So she has two main builds, which we will be focusing on the support builds. She has two main builds, right? Being the Nazuka support build 1 and the Nazuka support build 2. Although I haven't gone into the details of the nitty-gritties of which of the two builds are actually the best, as for now I have found that build 2 actually deals the most damage when we actually look at the damage screens after that, as she's not a versatile that's focused on buffing. She's not just a main buffer, she actually deals an immense amount of damage. Granted, this was done in Boss Blitz, and the current Boss Blitz buffs a lot of support type damage, right? So her damage isn't exactly as accurate as you would think it is. But even considering that, main build 2 does seem to deal the most damage. So main build 2 is about her formations. This is the build that I have been using and it has given me the most success. Obviously you can grab both rares from both of them and the other outstanding rare, but it has been the build that I have been using and it has proved to be really good for me. For the record that I have been using, right, I have been using okay, no, that's not the one. It's the formation build. Yes, this is the one. This is my strongest build. I know it's got the least score, but I feel like by now we should know that score does not mean anything in the face of good potentials, right? So I know I should have focused on her. I do believe right now that I need to redo this run and actually get most of her potentials, that this team would actually perform better with her potentials being the priority, as the Nanoha is not dealing the most damage. Granted, this was in Boss Blitz and the advantage that she has, but I feel like even outside of Boss Blitz, she will still dominate the damage scene. So what is this build? The build is the formation build, and Almighty Leader is a very important one from what I've seen, as it increases all the teammates' Ventus damage, which is really quite nice. And then in priority, this one too, as it increases the Ventus formation damage and inflicts marks, which is nice, and the Erasure increases Ventus damage taken. Always a nice to have. And then the N is basically all you can get to buff the attack of the main tracker and the Ventus damage taken of the enemies. That is what I was focusing on. I did get a bit of speed surge, but that was for the Nanoha because she will use it the most with the auto attack speed and all that. For the Nanoha, it's a basic skill build, the second build, not the auto attack speed build. This is basically the skill build, and I actually had a good run for her. If she was only stronger, she would have dealt more damage, but it is what it is. This is the build I've been using for her. And actually my first impressions are for her as that she is quite strong. I will be going over a guide video where I go into much detail into which potentials to actually focus on, which builds are best for her. Maybe I might try her as a main damage dealer, but I do not plan on upgrading her skills because skill level up materials are actually quite rare. So I will try her out as a main just to see, for the people who actually want to play as a main damage dealer, to show them that this is how it's done, but I will not be upgrading her skill levels, so she won't be dealing as much damage as a main for me. But I do plan on going around to using her as a main damage dealer, and I will be including that in my guide video or in a separate video for her. So now the moment of truth, the moment you've all been waiting for. I want to show you my first impressions on her in a Boss Blitz run that I have recorded. So let us go there right now. For this run, right, it is the 28 build, the one you saw earlier, where I'm basically using formation. By 28 I mean it's squad level 28 of the squad. It is the one that I found the most success with. So this boss, basically I like trying to force the boss onto the wall as that kind of stops it from moving a bit too much. And the Nanoha range is really nice, right? You can stay out of the range of most attacks but still be attacking, which is the best part when dealing with her and Shia. Her and Shia have quite the nice range that you can stay very far from the enemy but still be dealing damage to them. So as you can see, the formations that we do see on the floor and the score pile up. So for the most part, the survivability for this team is really nice with the Anne because she gets the shield, and I am using the disc that actually gives you more damage if you do have a shield. So it's actually quite nice that I actually picked up that potential. For discs, I do not have her main disc equipped, right? So I was not expecting much, but I do have 3 5-star discs, which is the Cataclysm disc, the Nanoha standard disc, I think, and then the event disc. I have the event disc, Cataclysm disc, oh, and the raid disc. I don't have the Nanoha disc. Maybe I do, maybe I don't, I don't know, but I have 3 discs and none of them are her own. I will be showing you which of those discs I actually have and I am using, but this was just my first impression. The team feels very strong. The Nanoha team now feels very strong. But the shocking thing for me, actually, the thing that actually shocked me the most is that Nanoha is not the main damage dealer. You know what do you mean by main damage dealer? She's the main tracker you're using, but she's not the main damage dealer. She's not the main source of the damage, which is kind of shocking for a damage dealer. So maybe we actually do need a damage dealer, right? Maybe we actually do need a damage dealer for Ventus. I thought Nanoha was just needing a good versatile and she would be fine. But maybe we do need it. The question is whether or not a support might actually solve all that. A stronger support, but Anne is quite strong. Anne is quite strong for a support. And the petals you see on the ground actually do deal a lot of damage. I underestimated the damage that she would be doing. Well, I expected her to be sort of a Chick-Shia type versatile, as Chick-Shia grants a lot of attack. Most of her potentials are focused on attack granting. If you focus on the what's it called, the serpent build, by the way, the dragon build is more of a damage dealer type of build, so there's that to consider as well. But for her, she does not have a lot of damage enhancing potentials, so you kind of have to focus on the damage that she deals. She's just that type of versatile. But then the sad part about her being that type of versatile is that she actually deals so much damage that it overshadows the main damage dealer in the team, which is quite sad to see, meaning that the moment we get a new 5-star, obviously that 5-star will be overshadowing the Nanoha. Because the Fuyuka, for an example, I know this is not a fair comparison, the Fuyuka was dealing quite a lot of damage even without. As you can see right here, 62% of the damage comes from the Nazuka. Granted, this is with the buff that buffs her damage by quite a lot, because support damage is buffed in this current Boss Blitz, right? Support damage is buffed in the current Boss Blitz, so this is not the... we can't take this at face value, and it is buffed by quite a lot. So maybe after, without that buff, it does drop, because my Nanoha is a bit invested as well, and the potentials I picked were mostly for her. But I'm questioning whether or not, if I don't pick her best potentials and I only focus on the Nazuka, will the damage be 70-30, maybe 80-20? If it gets to those levels, then I don't think the buff actually matters, the buff that we actually have in the current, what's it called? In the current Boss Blitz. So those are my first impressions. The unit is really strong. Is she a must pull? Obviously not. She is a versatile, and what you need the most are main damage dealers, so that you can actually deal, what's the word, with each of the Menace Arena stages, right? But main damage dealer, who's the main damage dealer in this team? She is. So I feel like, I know she's not the main, but she's the main damage dealer. She deals the most damage. So considering that, I would consider getting her regardless. For me, I feel like she's worth it because she makes the Ventus team a team. But I'd say wait, right? My advice on whether you should pull or not, wait to see what the next unit is. Because if the next unit is, say for an example, an Umbra damage dealer, then I say skip if you're on the fence, because damage dealers will always take priority, right? So wait to see the next unit before pulling, because she's not a must-have in any sense of the word, but she's quite strong, like very strong. But that's it for my first impressions. I will be working on a guide video. Like I did say, I am away from my normal working area, so making videos has been quite the challenge for me, but I will push to try to get that guide video out in no time. That's it for me. For more content, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.